Hello! Hello, my beautiful manifestors. I have not recorded a video in some time. Actually, I think I'm looking in the wrong spot. Don't mind me. Gotta figure this out again. So, I took a bit of a break. Sabbatical? It was a break. I went on a very deep journey of self-healing, and a lot of it had to do with releasing my blocks and getting rid of everything that was no longer serving me, everything that had to be released in order for me to move forward and continue moving forward and to continue manifesting my next level so that I can serve you in the most amazing way, the brightest way, the best way. So today I'm going to talk about just that, releasing your blocks. It's something that I hear a lot. I hear it from my students all the time. I hear it when someone comes to me for the first time and we have our first coaching session together. That's one of the first things that people say. I have blocks and I don't know how to move through them. I have blocks. I don't know how to release them. And I think this happens a lot, and this happens for me and happened to me, especially at the beginning of my manifestation journey, which was like over 15 years ago now. If you haven't been with me for a while, if you haven't ever seen a video of mine, if you're brand new to Manifesting Miracle Worker, I have been studying the law of attraction for over 15 years now. So this is a journey that I am very dedicated to. It is a journey that I absolutely adore, and it is a journey that I want to share with the whole entire world because it is really what has healed my life and continues to heal my life. And it's real. I see it with my own eyes all the time. We can be, do, and have absolutely everything that we desire. So when a lot of people first start out with their manifestation journey, their self-healing journey, their self-love journey, things often go pretty good at first. And a lot of times you'll manifest things like that, like boom, oh my gosh, you'll start to see synchronicities and you start to tell yourself, wow, this really works. This is a lot of fun. And then as you get kind of deeper into the practice, you realize you're not here just to manifest $500. You're not here just to manifest a new car, maybe a material item. No, you want to manifest your next level now. You want to get to the good stuff. You want to live your life this way. You want to practice this amazing thing that we call self-development, and you want to make that your reality. You want to move through, and you want to continue to reach each new level of freedom and abundance. So when you start to realize, I want more, and I want to heal my whole life, every aspect of it, that's when you start to hit blocks. And the reason that this happens is, well, it's twofold. Number one, if you start to hit blocks in your manifestation process, when you're leveling up, when you're trying to reach those next levels of freedom and abundance, and then wacky things start to happen. You come up against something. Shit starts to go wonky in your life. Unexpected bills appear. You start arguing with your loved ones, co-workers. Maybe you lose your job. Just things start to happen and you start to ask yourself, am I doing this right? Is it because of the manifestation process? What am I doing wrong? So number one, you're not doing anything wrong, and tell yourself that and believe that. When these things start to happen and this bad stuff starts to pop up, bad stuff, it's not bad, I don't want to use that word. When things start to pop up that no longer belong in your reality, they're going to come up to the surface. Universe is trying to make you very aware that these things still exist in your subconscious. Universe is trying to make you aware that you still have patterns that you want to release. These things come from childhood, they can come from teenage years, different circumstances will form belief systems. Different things we have been through in our lives will form belief systems. These are the belief systems we carry with us, and we carry it all the way up until we start to learn manifestation and self-development. And by being positive all the time, you're not going to just get rid of the negative belief systems, and they will manifest in your reality in different ways, like unexpected bills or arguments or just things that you don't want to deal with. This is a good thing. It means your practice is working. It means you are on the right track. It means that the universe is telling you your next level you is not going to bring these things with you. You can't take this stuff with you because next level you does not experience these things. Next level you does not hold these beliefs. Next level you is not being held back, right? So you are now seeing all of these things. Perhaps for the first time, you're really understanding, wow, something's blocking me in my life. Something is making me unhappy. There's a pattern that is coming up over and over again that is making me unhappy, and I need to move through it. Just the knowing, the acknowledgement, understanding that it exists is so powerful. So number one, when these things start to happen, congratulate yourself. Be like, okay, well, you know what? It's here. That means something is working. That means the universe is rearranging your life to make way for everything new. You got to get rid of the old before you can move into the new. So the second reason these things pop up, first reason is congratulate yourself because your practice is working. The second reason is because you need to get rid of them, right? Now they're popping up. You recognize they're there. You understand that there's something that you need to work through and move through. So now it's time to get rid of them. You have to release them, bless and release, acknowledge these things. Now, I took a very long break because a lot of this stuff was coming up. A ton of this stuff was coming up. And I honestly felt like I was not able to put myself out there to teach you and guide you in the best way possible if I still had all of these things holding me back. Next level Amanda did not have all these things holding her back. And a lot of these things came up as anxiety. I had bad anxiety that I was moving through. I think it started with COVID. It didn't start with COVID though. And I came to realize that I had been holding this feeling of anxiety with me throughout my whole life. And it even started in childhood because my mother, she always did the best and she's amazing and she still does amazing things, but she was always a very anxious person and she still is. And, you know, when I was younger, it was always, oh, make sure the doors are locked, make sure the doors are locked, make sure you wear your seatbelt. 10 million times she'll say that. Maybe not 10 million. You know, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. Oh, you know, well, people are robbing cars now. Oh, well, you know, make sure you have pepper spray on you. The world was bad. The world was scary, right? And for me, I picked up on that vibration. I picked up on that vibration as a kid. I picked up on that vibration as I grew older. And again, it's not my mom's fault, you know, but it's also not my job. It's not our job to hold on to the vibration of someone else. It's our job to notice when it's here and when we're living in that vibration. And we're going to notice it because it's not going to serve us anymore. It's going to be annoying and negative and icky feeling. And it's our job to move through it and move up to our next level by shedding it. So that anxiety was popping up a lot for me. And especially since COVID and then really in the last year, I started my nearly year of soul journey by going to Sedona in September, and it was amazing. When I was there, I did a lot of work on myself and my confidence, how I felt about myself, how I wanted to show up, how I felt about my body, how I felt about me. And I did a lot of work around self-love, and I could say that I honestly healed that. I healed that part of me. I healed that part of me that didn't feel confident. I healed that part of me that didn't give herself enough time, like soul time, like meditation time, time with myself. I did heal that. And when I came home, I was feeling great. I was feeling amazing for about a month straight, maybe even 6 weeks. I was on top of the world. I was floating and everything felt great. And then all of a sudden, I crashed. All of a sudden, I wasn't feeling those good vibes anymore. Part of it is because I wasn't keeping up with the work. So 30% of the work was done there in Sedona. 30%, I formed the foundation. The other 70% is the work that I integrate once I get back home. And I fell off from that. I wasn't doing that. And what I mean by the work is that inner work, the meditation, sitting with myself, sitting with my soul, the manifestation practices, setting simple intentions for what I desire, forgiveness work, release work, all of those fun things and practices, I wasn't doing them. I didn't have a solid alignment routine. So while I did heal that big part of myself that felt so not confident, felt so not confident, I didn't love myself. While I did heal that, now other things started to pop up. And they started to pop up because I also wasn't keeping up with my alignment routine. So what popped up? The anxiety. The anxiety kept popping up and it kept popping up. And I remember I couldn't even go on a live stream with my sister, Chrissy. Like I couldn't even do it. And I was doing it with her. I couldn't even do it. I was crippled with fear. I was crippled with anxiety. And that's the story that I kept telling myself. I was living that anxiety story. Anyone who would listen, oh, well, I have bad anxiety. Oh, well, I have bad anxiety. Nighttime came around, I go downstairs, I check the locks 10 times, I check the stove 10 times, and I bug out and I keep telling myself, oh, well, I have anxiety. I have anxiety. I have anxiety. You see what's going on here? The story I am telling myself, I was telling myself, is I have anxiety. I was living in that story. I wasn't living in the story that I wanted. And I was vibrating the energy of having anxiety. I wasn't vibrating in the energy of what I truly desired, which was peacefulness, ease, a super successful business, my next level of business. That's what I truly desired. And the universe was telling me, well, guess what, Amanda? In your next level of business, you're not carrying this heavy, heavy anxiety with you. In your next level of life and business and spiritual connection, you're not carrying this heavy anxiety with you. So I was self-medicating by drinking at night. I thought that was one of the only ways I could deal with the anxiety because, again, my story was anxiety. Then my story became I self-medicate by drinking because of anxiety. I kept telling myself that over and over again, and anyone else who wanted to listen. And that became my story. And the whole entire vortex kept spinning and spinning and spinning, and it was the vortex of anxiety. So when we talk about the vortex, this is what Abraham Hicks teaches. The vortex is what we feed, right? So we can feed it with the energy of what we want. We can feed it with the energy of happiness, peacefulness, fulfillment. Just keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're in that energy. We're in that zone. We manifest it. We're in our next level. But we can also feed the vortex the opposite way. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. Oh my gosh, self-medicating, anxiety, anxiety. Boom. Now I'm in that version of my reality. And I couldn't show up online specifically because of these old stories that I had to shed. And for a while I wasn't doing it. I am lucky enough that I was able to take time off to start healing, especially the anxiety, but a lot of these things about myself, healing everything that was no longer serving me so I can get to my next level and my next level of business, my next level of success and happiness and fulfillment and abundance. I am lucky enough that I was able to take that time off to really dig in and spend time alone with myself. And it took a while. It took a few months before I finally got into a routine of self-healing, and I started a little mini journey of my own. And during that time, I was disconnected from Instagram, especially. Again, I'm saying I'm lucky enough I was able to take the time off because I still had my clients. I still had my writing and my blog writing, my freelance projects. I was able to do that. So I'm not trying to tell you if you need to take the time off, take the time off. Woo, just go do whatever. Don't worry about money. No, use the time accordingly, the way that it fits you the best, but do the healing work. I was putting the healing work off for so long that I had to make up for it. And the way I made up for it was to kind of unplug. I unplugged from social media. I unplugged from my email list. I unplugged from any new offers that I wanted to create. And I utilized that time instead with my healing practices, with my alignment routines, discovering myself, rediscovering myself, truly honing in on what it is that I wanted for my next level. All of these things were coming up. The anxiety, the self-medicating, the negativity, not being able to show up, because I needed to heal them. Because next level me did not carry those things with her. Next level me, that was not her story. Her story was that she was peaceful and free and happy and excited and had all these wonderful offers so I could teach you, and so that you could be the most happy, free, awesome, peaceful, excited person. That's next level me. That's where I am now. And I'm so excited to be here. But the reason I was disappeared for so long is because I had to take that time off. That's the importance of your alignment. That is the importance of spending time with yourself and spending time with your soul, asking the universe for guidance, figuring out what you want, just writing down your desires and your intentions. You can have it all. You truly can. But when you stick to a consistent practice, you're going to find everything will fall into place. And for me, especially, when I came home from Sedona, I knew I should have been sticking to a consistent practice, but I wasn't. And I felt like I had to make up for a lot of lost time. And I'm not telling you to take months off. Again, you can fit it in however it fits into your life, but do these practices. And when it comes to blockages, you know what they are. A lot of people ask me, well, I don't know what my blockages are. Yes, you do. Sit down with yourself, take out your journal, and really think about what is going on in your life right now that you're feeling resistance. What is going on that you're not vibing properly? What's going on that's holding you back? What's going on that is a limiting belief that keeps coming up? A story that keeps playing itself out? Maybe it is your bank account. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. That's a story that keeps coming up, that you can't save money, or that money is not constantly flowing enough. That's a story that keeps coming up. Okay, cool. Where's the story coming from? Now you look in your life, look in your childhood, just like I did with my mom and anxiety. Where in your childhood, teenage years, even the present day, where is this story coming from of lack and scarcity around money? That's what you need to do. You got to dig in. You know what your blocks are. You just have to sit down and give yourself that time to really figure out where the resistance is in your life. Where is it? Where are you feeling resistance? And you'll feel it. I remember, especially when it came to money a few years ago, I felt it. Every time a bill came in, it was like, ugh. Like, I didn't want to look at it. I felt it. You're going to feel it. You already feel it. Blockages. When we talk about blocks, when it comes to manifesting, this is nothing magical or woo or crazy. This is just something that doesn't fucking feel good. It's just like something that doesn't feel right. And you'll know what it is if you just sit down and spend time with yourself. Take out your notebook. Just right at the top. What doesn't feel good? Things will come out. These are what blockages are. Blockages is that resistance feeling. Blockages is those patterns that keep coming up, those stories that we keep telling ourselves. That's what blockages are. The story of, my body isn't good enough. My body isn't good enough. I don't feel good in my body. My body isn't good enough. Every time we look in the mirror. Where does that story come from? Where in your life have you felt like your body wasn't good enough? Starting in childhood and going all the way through the present day. Where, when, who perhaps has made you feel like your body wasn't good enough? Those are blockages. And the first part of releasing them is acknowledging them. You need to acknowledge them. Write them down on a piece of paper. Acknowledge them. That's how you get them out of your subconscious. Acknowledge them. From there, bless and release. Bless and release. Bless them. Thank you. Thank you. You no longer serve me. Now I release you. A great way to release when you write down these blockages, and perhaps you write down the instances, the things in your life that contributed to these blockages, these negative stories you keep telling yourself, your limiting beliefs. When you write down all these negative instances and everything that's contributed to it, write it down, rip it up into little pieces, burn each little piece. I burn my little pieces of paper, and I use fireproof, right? Fireproof. The abalone shell. It's abalone, right? I think I'm pronouncing it right. I just got lost for a minute. It's fireproof. So, burn it, put the ashes into your fireproof abalone shell, and then I get rid of it. Put it in the dirt. That's what I did last time. I just spread it out there, put it in the dirt, give it back to the earth. Symbolically, this is so empowering. Symbolically, this is so powerful. Symbolically, you're getting rid of the blockages, and you're going to feel a lot lighter. I did that last week. Around, it was forgiveness work. Now I can't even remember. That's what's going to happen. Now you're not even going to remember what was blocking you sometimes because you got rid of it. It's so powerful when you acknowledge what is causing resistance in your life, when you acknowledge what your old negative patterns and stories are. It's so powerful when you acknowledge them, write them down, bless them, release them. When you acknowledge the old stories from your childhood, and then when you burn them, you don't have to burn them. You can rip it up. Just get rid of it. But I burned mine. I don't even remember what I was writing down last week. I don't even remember. Anyway, I was writing down old stories. And this was to call in the new month of August. I was writing down old stories. I really don't remember. This is wild. I was writing down old stories that no longer serve me, that I did not want to take, that I couldn't take into the new month with me, my next level. And I wrote them all down. I blessed them. Thank you. Thank you. I no longer need you. Release. Ripped up the piece of paper, burned it. I had the ashes in my shell, and then spread them out into the earth. I gave it back to the earth. I no longer need it. That is no longer my story. You are not your limiting beliefs. You are not your blocks. You are not your old stories. You are not your resistance. You are not your negative stories. You are not the stories of your family, your parents, the people around you. You are none of that. It isn't you, and it's something that you can release. It's just something that's been holding you back. And when you start to feel these things come up in your life, it's a blessing. I feel like I keep looking in two different spots. This is going to look wonky when I upload it. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at it up here, and then I'm looking down here. Thank you for dealing with me, as always. I don't even remember where I was. When you can acknowledge these things, there's so much power. That's why they come up. When you start to create and think about and dream up your new reality, everything you want to manifest, and these things start coming to the surface, that is a blessing. It's a blessing, and it means you are doing something right. You're doing everything right, because now these things are popping up to the surface, and they're there for you to release them, to acknowledge them, bless them, and release them. Release work is beautiful. It is so freeing. And like I said, sometimes you won't even remember. You're literally energetically releasing this stuff from your mind, your body, and your soul. It's freeing. You're going to feel lighter. And this is the work that you need to do if you truly want to live your truth. If you truly want to live that life of freedom and abundance, that next level over and over again, blocks are going to come up. And this is the work that you need to do. It is beautiful. It is healing. It is magical. You are not your blocks, and you have the power to be, do, and have absolutely anything you desire. I am going to have an announcement tomorrow. Depending on when you see this, it'll probably be announced already. I am really excited about it, and it has a lot to do with alignment routines and alignment practices and alignment time with yourself, time with your soul, how we can get into that beautiful energy space to start manifesting everything we desire in easy ways, methods to heal and release our blocks. You are not your blocks. You are amazing. I'm so happy to be back. Send me an email, send me a DM, send me questions, anything. I'm here to support you on your amazing journey because you're amazing. Bye, guys.